Imagine you're sailing across the Atlantic Ocean. The wind is steady. The sea is calm. Then, on the horizon, you spot another ship. At first, nothing seems unusual. Its sails are raised. It isn't sinking. It appears to be drifting slowly with the current. You signal the crew. No answer. You fire a warning shot. Still, nothing. Curious, you climb aboard. What you find makes no sense. Food is still on the table. The crew's personal belongings remain untouched. The cargo is exactly where it should be. There are no signs of violence, no signs of piracy, no bodies, no blood, no captain, no crew, no passengers, just silence. Some mysteries are solved within days, others take years. But one mystery has haunted the world's oceans for more than a century and a half. This is the story of the Mary Celeste. Long before it became known as the world's most famous ghost ship, the Mary Celeste was simply another hard-working merchant vessel. Built in Nova Scotia in 1861, she wasn't the biggest ship crossing the Atlantic, nor the fastest. But she was dependable. Voyage after voyage, she carried valuable cargo across one of the world's most dangerous oceans. By November 1872, another routine journey awaited. Her destination was Genoa, Italy. Her cargo consisted of 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, worth a small fortune. Everything about this voyage appeared ordinary. Nothing suggested it would become one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. At the helm of the Mary Celeste stood Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs. To those who knew him, Briggs was everything a captain should be. Calm, experienced, deeply religious. He had spent decades sailing some of the world's most dangerous waters. Fellow captains respected his judgment. His crew trusted him completely. In fact, Briggs believed this voyage would be so safe that he brought the two people he loved most, his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. They weren't just passengers. They were family. Looking back, that decision would make the mystery even more heartbreaking. On the 7th of November, 1872, the Mary Celeste left New York Harbor. Her destination was Genoa, Italy. Below deck sat 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, carefully secured for the long Atlantic crossing. 7 experienced sailors joined Captain Briggs and his family. Nothing about the departure seemed unusual. Weather conditions were favorable. The crew was healthy. The ship was in excellent condition. For nearly 3 weeks, the Mary Celeste sailed eastward into the Atlantic. Then, she disappeared from history. For nearly 3 weeks, the Mary Celeste sailed deeper into the Atlantic. Captain Briggs continued recording the voyage in the ship's logbook. The weather wasn't perfect. There were strong winds, rough seas, and heavy rain at times, but nothing experienced sailors couldn't handle. Then, the entries suddenly stopped. The final logbook entry was dated the 25th of November, 1872. After that, nothing. No distress call, no warning, no explanation. It was as if the entire ship had simply vanished from history. 10 days later, on the 5th of December, 1872, another British merchant ship sailed through the Atlantic. Her name was D. Gracia. Captain David Morehouse noticed a ship several miles away. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but as they drew closer, the vessel moved strangely. It drifted awkwardly. No one stood at the helm. No lookout watched from the mast. Morehouse ordered his crew to signal the ship. No response. They fired a warning shot. Still silence. With no response from the mysterious vessel, Captain Morehouse made a decision. A small boarding party climbed into a boat and slowly crossed the cold Atlantic waters. As they reached the Mary Celeste, they climbed onto the deck. The silence was unsettling. No footsteps, no voices, no movement. They searched the captain's cabin. Empty. They searched below deck. Empty. Every sailor, every passenger, every member of the Briggs family had vanished. Yet the ship itself was still floating. It was almost as if everyone had simply walked away. The deeper the boarding party searched, the stranger the mystery became. Food was still sitting in the galley. Personal belongings remained untouched. Valuable cargo filled the ship's hold. Nothing had been stolen. There were no signs of violence, no blood, no struggle. But a few things were missing. The ship's lifeboat was gone, so were the captain's sextant and chronometer. These were the tools needed for navigation. The final logbook entry was dated the 25th of November. 10 days had disappeared from history, 10 days that no one has ever been able to explain. News of the abandoned ship spread around the world. Almost immediately, theories began to appear. Had pirates attacked the Mary Celeste, it seemed possible, until investigators discovered the cargo was untouched. Valuable supplies, money, and personal belongings were all still on board. Pirates don't usually leave treasure behind. Others suggested mutiny. But Captain Briggs was respected by his crew. There was no evidence of violence, no blood, no damaged cabin, no struggle. Some even blamed sea monsters, giant squid, or supernatural forces. Fascinating stories, but with no evidence to support them. One by one, every popular theory began to fall apart. Today, many maritime historians believe the answer may have been far less mysterious, but no less tragic. The Mary Celeste was carrying more than 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. Although the barrels appeared intact, some experts believe tiny leaks may have released invisible alcohol vapors into the ship. Captain Briggs may have feared a catastrophic explosion. To protect his family and crew, he may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily. They likely stayed connected to the ship by a rope, expecting to return within minutes. But the Atlantic Ocean has little mercy. A sudden gust of wind or a powerful wave could have snapped that single rope. The lifeboat drifted away. The Mary Celeste continued sailing, alone. More than 150 years have passed, and no one can say with certainty what happened aboard the Mary Celeste. Maybe the alcohol fumes forced the crew to abandon ship. Maybe another explanation has been lost forever beneath the Atlantic. But perhaps the greatest mystery isn't what happened to the people. It's why stories without answers continue to captivate us. Thousands of ships have disappeared into the sea. Only one became legendary because it returned without its crew. If you enjoyed uncovering this mystery with us, subscribe to EvoliqExplainer for more extraordinary true stories that reveal something profound about human nature and history.